Guys, that was on me today. That was on me. Listen, it takes a very courageous man to admit his faults. Okay, so that was on me today. But welcome to Born and Red. Guys, before anything today, before we talk football, before anything, I need a favor from everyone in the chat. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't, please. Just subscribe. Don't subscribe for the three that I do the hosting with. Subscribe for me. Blue Chip is only exclusively on Born and Red. Okay. Actually, I was on Quasi TV as well, so give Quasi his flowers as well. But please, guys, like and subscribe. I know people are numb. I know people are upset. I know people are kind of in shock still and in mourning. Don't worry, I'm here to make sure everyone has a good time on Sunday. That 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I'll make sure that, you know what, we'll get through it together. So please go and like and subscribe to the channel. Yesterday, I must admit, I'm gonna talk for 5 minutes. Yeah, Ali, you know what? Yo, that's it. He's gone now. He's gone from the chat. He's gone from the chat forever. Yesterday we had a great phone-in show. Credit to Sarib yesterday. Really led the line yesterday on phone-in. Asim was a great supporting act. Junior BNR, amazing, informative contributor. But a big shout out to one of our first supporters of this channel. And he says that he works for 12:30 now. He works his shift, comes home, and he gives us an hour watch. Kieran Dolan. So if Kieran Dolan you're watching, or whenever you're watching, a big shout out to you. I know you follow us on Twitter as well, but big shout out to you. You came on the show and some great points and about your memories on Klopp and Liverpool, and you know where it changed for you, and when you had started to become a believer and thought, yeah, this is the guy to take us forward. So big up to Kieran Dolan, and big up to everyone else who came on the show as well yesterday. If I haven't mentioned you, I apologize. But guys, we had a game today. Asim was there with his clock cam, 1080 HP, HD.
Can you find another joke? Can you find another joke?
Cringy, but I'm not going to stop. But no, Asim was there. And listen, there's people out there, just a few of them, because I know he gets so many likes and so many views on the footage that Asim provides us, and he won't stop because it's amazing footage, and gives us a really first-class sort of outlook the day after when he does his threads. So informative. But there's a few that have a problem with it. Well, you know what? Fuck you all. If you got a problem with it, the few 3-4 of you guys, yeah, who call us wolves, you know what? F you lot. Asim will do what he does. All right. If you got a problem with it, don't follow him. That's it. Simple as. Don't follow us. We don't need supporters like that. All right. We're in this together. Anyway, guys, enough of that. Mind my language. Sorry, mum. I know she's watching. But guys, Liverpool, Norwich. Asim, you were at the game today. Fortunately, lucky ones. I wasn't, obviously. Sarib didn't get man.
You will be next week. You will be next week.
I'll be somewhere. I believe. Saj couldn't go. He was flipping burgers at the time of kickoff. But Asim, how was it today? How was the atmosphere? Was it a bit somber? It seemed as if it was great from the TV, a great ovation. You never walked the rendition. Klopp was, he was a little bit downbeat when he was hearing that, but in a good way. How was it for you?
There was a bit of a different feeling, a different smell in the air. Gene would probably relate to me, a bit better because he goes there. And on a normal week, and Saturday, Saturday 3 p.m. afternoon, if it's like a home to Bournemouth, it's different, isn't it? On a European night, it's different. Today had its own little feeling as going to the match. You can tell. You even saw some tops of Jurgen and hoodies of "Thank you, Jurgen" and "Thank you, Klopp," "Thank you, boss." I saw some flags. I saw some banners, and I thought to myself, maybe not now, guys. Maybe in 2-3 months' time. But I think at the end of the game, I thought, you know what? In hindsight, this was the perfect weekend to get it out of the way. This was always going to be about Jurgen Klopp. And there was a bit of a somber feeling. Avi, you're right. It was a bit of a low-key sort of start. I got to the game a bit late. I like to see the warm-up. I like to see the lads coming in.
Was it a little bit weird? Because
it was weird.
We know he's going, but listen, we've got to support this team. We're on our way. Could be a unprecedented quadruple, but was it a weird feeling? Was it a mixed emotions? I mean, the people around you, what was the feeling?
It was a bit. Everyone was looking at one man today, Javi. Everyone, especially when normally you look at the team. Alisson comes out, his football goalkeeper coaches and the reserve keepers, and Klopp comes out. He watches the opposition from the halfway line. We all know what his routine is. But everybody was looking at one man, and the way Jurgen Klopp did, he even knew this is going to be about him today. But I'm glad we've got this out of the way, because now we can really get down to the business end of the season. And this was always going to happen after the announcement. And even the sort of running order changed. It was a somber feeling. It was a low key start to the game. It was an emotional, you never walk alone at the start. And then that rendition of "I'm So Glad," it went around all the four corners of Anfield after about a minute and 30 seconds. And it was like, okay, let's get this out of the way. It's the FA Cup weekend. With all due respect to Norwich, we expected to win. But I think the boss accepted that he doesn't like it. I think he mentioned in the press conference that he doesn't like that song being, sort of sang around the stadium during the stadium when the game is won. But I think we had a free pass today, Avi.
I think he said it's fine as long as it's loud.
True. But I don't think we should sing that song on Wednesday night until the game is won at the 90th minute. And with all due respect, I love Jurgen Klopp, and I'm absolutely gutted. I'm hurting like every Liverpool fan. But it's a bit of a celebratory song, if you know what I mean. And maybe that's why the manager doesn't want that song to be sung during the 90 minutes. If we won the game, 100%. On Wednesday night, it's all about being really, really aggressive. And I want the fans to be aggressive from Wednesday night, because we've got 17 finals to maneuver.
And Sarib, I'm going to come to you, and Asim's hit the nail on the head there. That I think Klopp, what he wants it to be about the team. The club is bigger than he is. At this point, I'm not sure. In my thinking, Klopp's been absolutely humongous for this football club. But you know what he means? He doesn't want any one person to be bigger than the club. That's why he's saying, listen, chant my name afterwards when we're winning, or once it's full time, chant as loud as you want. But he wants it to be about the team. And, that's kind of correct, isn't it? On Wednesday night, especially, like we're 17 finals left in the league. He wants us to be purely focused on that one game. And he wants the fans to be, using their energy for the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we speak about the news. There was never really a perfect time to call it. And we knew that the next game that we're going to play was always going to be about Jurgen Klopp. And I think when it goes down further in the season, once we come to kind of terms, because I don't think everyone's come to terms with the news yet. I think we're just all still kind of numb to it that, we're going to have Klopp next season, when that's not going to be the case. I think today was a feel of what it may be like for the rest of the season in terms of atmosphere. And I do understand why Klopp's saying, I don't want you to sing my name, but come on, we're Liverpool fans. We're losing probably our best manager since, couldn't tell you, Rafa, even before that maybe. So it's obviously going to be emotional. The fans are going to be emotional. It's the first game we're playing since the news dropped. Did we expect anything less? If Klopp's telling us not to sing the song, of course they're going to sing the song. We're Liverpool Football Club, and we show our support to all our players and all our manager. And obviously that is the biggest person at a football club at the moment, is Jurgen Klopp, and we're losing such a vital part. But I do understand why Klopp would say, I don't want it to be all about me. I want it to be about the team, just to kind of move the attention away. But it's not going to happen, Abby. And I think after that game, he realized, he was like, okay, you know what? No matter what I say, they're going to keep singing my song. And that's why in an interview, he said, as long as it's loud, they can carry on. As long as it's loud, they can carry on. And I guess that's what it's going to be like for the rest of the season.
Gene, someone pointed it out to me. I was having a conversation with one of my friends back home yesterday, and we were just talking about past managers, Shankly, Paisley, Fagan, then obviously Kenny, Evans, Souness, Houllier, Benitez. And Singh-Ji just puts a comment up there. I just want to read it out, that Klopp will miss us like we will miss him. And not saying that he won't go on to have another job or another great job, but the affection that we will show him, he won't get anywhere else. I can put my hand on my heart and say that, like, openly, like, he's not going to get what he's got here now. Yes, Dortmund are probably like for like in terms of the passion, their fans, their rendition of "You Never Walk Alone." But what we have given him, I don't think he's going to get that anywhere else. And that's why I think he will go, to do the national job, when he's leading his own country, Germany, of course. But he's not going to experience that anywhere else. Benitez didn't. Houllier didn't, in our time. Evans, after Liverpool was done, he just wanted to manage Liverpool. That was it. Dalglish, his first stint, he never experienced that at Blackburn. Yes, he won the title, he had money, but he never got that job where the fans were on his side from day one.
I mean, that's because Liverpool is an emotional football club. If you look around, every single manager that's managers over the past, it's not just about managing the football club. You come and manage the team. You manage the whole of Liverpool. You manage the emotion of Liverpool, and this is why were so big because, I'm not trying to bring this up, but like, because of Hillsborough and all that type of stuff, all these things bring in the emotion of managing a club like of the magnitude of Liverpool. And you got to give Klopp a lot of credit, because he was the perfect man for this job when he came in, because he's an emotional character, an emotional being himself. So it was important that the next manager that comes in understands what it's like to manage Liverpool, because as I've mentioned, you manage everything. And I think, managing this type of football club, this is why it takes so much out of you when you manage Liverpool. But today, today for me was just about, getting through the emotions and putting up a clinic in terms of the performance. And, I was over the moon. I thought it was a huge result from us today. Obviously it was the start of an emotional tour. As Asim mentioned, it's like a roller coaster ride that we're on right now. And it's just about getting through this period. The timing was brilliant, brilliant in terms of now it's the FA Cup weekend. We've got a bigger fish to fry come on Wednesday. So I think it's just now going to be about, okay, that's done. Let's go and crack on, and hopefully, we will have a big celebration at the end with one of the greatest managers that have managed Liverpool Football Club.
And I'm going to come back to you, Gene. And I want a little bit away from the game today, and we'll come to the game. We will talk about the game, but right now I think we're still sort of seething and still sort of reading.
I'm not seething anymore, Avi. Look, you need to get out of this thingy now. I don't want to see it anymore. We've just put up a clinic of a performance.
We will. It was only Norwich, Buscard. It was only Norwich. Okay. We are going to talk about.
We're going to be hurting. We're going to be hurting for the rest of the season, Gene, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I got that hurt. That hurt won't go away.
I've got 4 months, 5 months here where I want to go and win and clean up. That is my, you got to see it. You know what?
You want the same thing, Gene.
You're a bit of a blunt bastard, aren't you? You are a bit of a blunt bastard, honestly, Gene. Talking about let's carry on. Okay, but listen,
Gene, it says there in-depth analysis. It says in-depth analysis. We don't just we don't just
We've been talking about in-depth for the past 3 days.
Don't worry. We went on yesterday. But listen, I do want to talk about Gene, I do want to come back to you about McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai especially, or any of the new boys that came through the summer. Surely when they were speaking to the club, obviously Klopp would have had a word with them. McAllister maybe more so than Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. But McAllister could have played for Man City, could have played for any top club in the summer. He came to Liverpool. You've got to imagine he came for Klopp as well, and Klopp would have met his father, Carlos, and he would have met Alex and said, listen, this is the club to be. The future is here. Your success and everything that you want to be in a player, we will provide that for you. Knowing that he's going now, do you think those players that have signed, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister, do you reckon they're a little bit aggrieved?
I'll be honest with you. The way I see it is, if we deliver, and I'm pretty confident that we will deliver some trophies come at the end of the season. These guys are winners. They've played and they've won trophies elsewhere. They've been in McAllister, won the World Cup. So ultimately, he said, I want to come and win trophies. If he's coming his first season, he's already in a final. And you wait till the end of the season. If they've delivered trophies already in Klopp's era, these guys are going to be hungry to win more. And that's exactly what you want in these players. Yes, there's going to be an element of these guys wanting to play for Klopp, of course, but they've had the opportunity to play for Klopp, and they will have a chance to go and win all four. So you got to give them credit in terms of like they've given everything to this football club. Klopp is the one who's given them the opportunity to play for a football club like Liverpool, because you don't really get that every single. Because yes, you can play for the Man Cities in the world. Truth is, it's not Liverpool Football Club. We're different. We've always have been different, and it's an honor to play for a football club like ours. So yes, of course they're going to be upset. He's one of the greatest managers that's managed in the Premier League. But these guys are professionals, and they want to win trophies, and there's no better place to win trophies than Liverpool. And come end of the season, if these guys win a trophy, let's say they deliver the Premier League, they're going to taste success at Liverpool. It's completely different to tasting success elsewhere. So you got to understand that yes, they're going to be aggrieved, but end of the day, the club is bigger than any manager, and that's just the way it is.
Asim, are you in the same sort of agreement in what Gene is saying, that yes, the players, ideally they would like two,
Yeah.
3 years, 4 years with Klopp. But if it's going to be the year, it's going to be a special one, and they'll remember the year that they were in with Jurgen's farewell season.
Yeah, 100%. And at the end of the day, these footballers get scrutinized and ridiculed as well for sort of getting paid tons of money every week. But at the end of the day, they deserve it. Every sport at the highest level, these sort of the wages are very, very common. But at the same time, these guys are professionals, Avi, and you have to deal with these sort of these sort of highs and lows in the game. Nobody expected this. Nobody wanted this, whether it's players or fans. But it's a massive, massive hurdle, and we're saying the right things. And it was very, very evident of what Klopp said in his presser, that he had a meeting with the players, but straight away he had a meeting with the leadership crew as well, because they're going to be earning their sort of extra amount of money that they have because of being in that leadership group. The likes of Van Dijk, Robbo, Trent, Ali, Salah. These guys, it's on them to make sure we put an arm around the shoulders to the youngsters. And you can even see it, the likes of Curtis, the likes of even Kwanzaa. I know he's part of this young group, like talking to McConnell today, coming off a half-time, talking about these ideas, what's going on, where the opposition, where the spaces are, even these little things.
Talking about these ideas. So that's my fault.
Do you like the sound of my voice that much? You have to play on your phone as well.
Carry on.
But but thanks for disturbing me in full flow. But everyone's chipping in, Avi, in terms of leadership. And in going back to the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister, I'm looking at the positives, Avi, where whoever you are, this today showed me it was sort of evidence for every fan where this club is and what Jurgen Klopp has done for this team, where this is the reason why he stuck around for an extra 6 to 12 months, where he didn't want to leave us in a pickle. He made sure we saw the likes of McConnell, Kwanzaa, Bradley, Bobby Clark, Owen Beck. And today we've seen the blueprint of Jurgen Klopp, but we've also seen the tools that he's going to leave the next manager. And whoever that manager is, then if you can't take these players, these youngsters, who have got so much natural talent to the next level, maybe not stars, but established footballers, then there's something clearly gone wrong.
Let me tell you, Avi, let me just make a point. Shall I tell you why I am slightly worried about certain players? And one of those players I think we're gonna talk about as the season goes on is Ryan Gravenberch. Now, if you look at the whole picture, in the last 4 years, he's going to have 3-4 different managers for 3 different styles of play. He's 22 years old. He was at Bayern Munich last season. I think he had Thomas Tuchel and Julian Nagelsmann. The year before that, he had Erik ten Hag at Ajax. This season he has Jurgen Klopp. Next season he's going to have somebody else. It's going to be completely different style of play, different coaching methods. And I think when there's young players like that, especially when they haven't been settled from a younger age, it's very hard to develop. And I think that's the issue I have with some of the players, like not Szoboszlai necessarily or McAllister, but Ryan Gravenberch for me is not playing very well. He doesn't really have a cement. He hasn't cemented his place into the team. And I do worry for him. I do worry for him because say if the next manager doesn't fancy him or he doesn't come up to speed, it's just, I think it's been too much for him over the last couple of years. And I do worry about what could happen to certain players. He's the one I worry about the most. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but especially him being a young player.
For me, I think Gravenberch is young. He's still, 21, 22?
21.
Yeah, I think Sarib, he'll be fine. Grabs a goal today, and we're going to go into the game now. I get what you mean, like different managers. I think Mason Mount is an example of where that's really hurting. Especially with Chelsea, Lampard and Tuchel, and then he's gone to United now, can't find his feet, he's been injured and whatnot. But coming back to Liverpool, Gravenberch, I think he's why it's so imperative we make the right choice in the next manager. The next manager that comes in really emphasizes a sort of structure around youth. And I think we will make that right decision. I don't think we're going to get like a Roy Hodgson type or someone in their 50s, 60s. We are going to get someone young, I feel. Dare I say it, a certain Jabi Alonso. But no, I get what you mean, Sarib. It is.
Oh, Sarib, why are we worried about Gravenberch? He's not even a first team player for us.
That's my issue then. That's my issue because what was he signed for then?
It's a squad game. We're going for the quadruple.
I get that, but I'm looking more further forward. We saw in early in the season when against Everton, Klopp really fancied that McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch midfield. And he quickly realized that didn't work, and he took Gravenberch out. And since then, Gravenberch has not made many starts, especially in the Premier League. I think his last start was, if I'm not mistaken, was against Man United or Crystal Palace, was one or the other. Since then, he hasn't really set himself into the team when we thought
you have to give Curtis Jones the credit for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm giving
he provides a control, and I agree. At this moment in time, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai are probably too vertical, too sort of direct, for the non-tacticals. And Curtis Jones he came off today because he's one of the first guys on the pitch today. So I think you have to give a lot of credit to how Curtis Jones has developed in that position. I'm not worried about Ryan Gravenberch in terms of developing to a brilliant footballer at Liverpool. He's got so much raw talent. And if it is, for argument's sake, Avi, that Xabi Alonso is coming in, he has proven that he can take a decent player and make him a really, really good player. I don't know.
Look what he's done with Xhaka this season.
Frimpong.
Frimpong with Xhaka, yeah.
Yeah, Frimpong, I think he was playing at really attacking role. He made him into a wing back this year. He can see talent. Even we did it with McConnell this year, where he came and he was talking about after the 4-0 victory in pre-season that he's an attacking midfielder. The manager was talking about it today as well. He's a more than 8, but he's an intelligent, smart footballer. And maybe we've gone towards this McAllister, really a visioned controller in that DM position. The days of Fabinho have long gone because we've got Trent who can do a job. We've got McConnell who can do a job. We've got Bajcetic, all these natural 8s, if you like, doing, number 6 roles because we've got footballers throughout the squad. And that's what Ryan Gravenberch is. We will find a role for him. We've talked about it. He's been playing on the right-hand side. That's not his role because it's more suited to someone like Szoboszlai. Ryan Gravenberch is his first season. He's not played a lot of games in the last 2-3 seasons.
Absolutely.
He's got so much raw talent, and someone like Xabi or anyone else will grab that and nurture it.
And I get that 100%. He hasn't had a preseason, and I've said it on the show many times. The guy he does need time, but sometimes I feel like you have to criticize when a player is not playing well, regardless of the circumstances. The circumstances are going to be clear. But if somebody's not playing well and you worry about someone, I'm going to voice my opinion to him. You might disagree, you might agree. That's fine.
Of course. We have to provide a bit of context.
No, and I did with him having different coaches over the last 4 years. And
no, it's a valid point. No, that's 100% valid point.
Is it only me that I thought you had a decent game today?
Oh yeah, I think
he was good. He was good. I want to bring up one player. I'm going to go to the game, Gene. So you're going to be happy to smile a little bit. Miserable, miserable little shite. Mohamed Kibriya, one of the contributors on this channel, usually comes on the phone in as well. Curtis Jones, Asim. Me and you have had a few heated conversations over the years, but I think you've come on to the right side now. Which, Curtis Jones is a fabulous footballer that we've learned, but he always had to learn the discipline side. We all agreed in that. His application, the principle of having that role in the playing as an 8 or that left-sided sort of side of our midfield 3. Klopp said today, if Curtis Jones can learn defending, then anyone can learn defending. And it shows you...
Is that an official quotation?
That's what he said. Then anyone can learn defending. It shows you that the player has learned the nitty-gritty side of the game. He was all flair. There was questions about his sort of like lack of sort of defensive work, but he's come on leaps and bounds. And today he loves that little run in behind, doesn't he? Coming in from behind with a lovely cushioned header. Scored like that against Leicester, I believe. Spurs, I believe, last season. Ajax a few seasons ago. Comes towards the back post. He loves that little run. And we saw it today as well. Another assured performance.
Every time I look at this player, Avi, this is a testament to his game and where he is at the, in the team at the moment. What do you want me to do? Give you your flowers? Chuck them at you? But look, I have to be honest. I didn't believe in this player. And there was many fans like me a couple of years ago where Liverpool were trying to make him into the Gini Wijnaldum. For those guys who are not sort of, don't remember how we used to play. We used to play Henderson on the right. We used to play Thiago or someone else on the left-hand side, and Wijnaldum even, sometimes alongside Fabinho. But now we've changed into the system. He's become an 8/10. But the way that dynamic is on the left-hand side, where whenever we're suffering a bit, whenever we need a bit more control, Gomez goes wide. Gomez doesn't come into midfield. If he is, he's a bit more narrow, and then Curtis picks up the role in midfield. So it's a flat three in midfield, the 2-3-5, if you like. If it's a 2-2-6, where the two centre backs are there, and Gomez is alongside McConnell, like he was today, and then he comes on the side because it was a 4-5-1 block. I heard Jurgen Klopp talk about it as well at the end. So the gaps were on the side where Curtis Jones was coming. That fluidity, his sort of adaptability. If someone on the left-hand side, Gakpo, is on the inside, then he can go on the outside and hug the touchline. His versatility, his adaptability, I can talk about all day. His counter-pressing is unbelievable. But just like the manager has touched on, his awareness off the ball, on the ball, has come on leaps and bounds. And we've got a footballer who is a cultured footballer, so technically gifted, that has just learned the game. We're not trying to make him into a genuine Wijnaldum, but this guy now plays in 10 yards further up the field where he's an unbelievable counter presser. And I just can't wait till Wednesday night when I see Curtis Jones on the left-hand side and Szoboszlai probably starting on Wednesday night on the right-hand side, hunting that ball the moment we lose it. It's going to be unbelievable to watch. But Curtis Jones go for it.
Is that the early team leak, is it? Szoboszlai on the right?
I think so. That's not, yeah, but obviously the team doesn't get leaked about 3 days before. But I'm just predicting he will start.
Avi and Chin go. I just want to add to what Asim said. I think he words the Curtis Jones, the transformation he's made very, very like impressively. I think it's wise words from Asim about how Curtis Jones and that just shows how players can prove us wrong. I know Avi, you give him a lot, you know, saying, oh, you didn't believe in Curtis Jones and now look at da. We're fine to change our opinions and some of us can be wrong. Like I a couple of years ago, 2019, I didn't think Curtis Jones would be at this football club any longer. 2021 is when I started to look a bit more.
But the problem with you is you don't think anyone deserves to play for this football club. That's your problem, Sarib.
Oh, that's not true.
That's just your problem.
Not true. But I think
if it was up to Sarib, he'd be playing 5-a-side.
Sarib would put himself in, innit?
I'd have a team of Gakpos.
There you go.
I think we bought a new.
I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this individual. It's Fazal. He's a very well-known friend of ours. He came on yesterday's show, started hooting and ranting like a foghorn. Listen, next time you want to come on our show, why don't you come with your full camera on, and I'll come on the show as well. So if you want to shout and talk over everyone, call me out and we'll do a show. Just me and you, Unks. We'll do a special show, me and you, because you were absolutely on one. And I know you don't drink. Okay, I know you're a very strict religious man, but you were definitely on something last night. But no, big up to Unks, one of our regulars.
You ain't getting a word in with them.
I think
he was absolutely brilliant yesterday.
Having the likes of Thiago, having the likes of Wijnaldum, and having like Szoboszlai now, having Alexander-Arnold, having Fabinho, all these midfielders that we've had, you can kind of see he's got a bit of all of it in him, Curtis Jones, and he's developed his game very, very well over the last couple of years. He wins the ball back quite well, like Wijnaldum. He's got good passing on him. He's a bit, he can pick out a pass from deeper areas like Thiago, and maybe not to level, but you can see he's got a bit of all of them in his game, and I think that's testament to all the players that we've had over the couple of years, and maybe that is the finished product of all the coaching he may have had, being alongside these top midfielders that we've had over the last 5 or 6 years.
I think his legs have gone stronger as well. You're probably
absolutely
like looking at his ass and legs all the time, Avi. But that's massive for a midfielder. That when you see Curtis Jones, whether his natural, sort of growth, but I think it's time in the gym as well.
He's 6 foot 6'1", I think.
Yeah,
he's a tall lad. He's a tall lad. Unc saying camera didn't work yesterday. Don't worry, Asim will lend you some. He's got 1,000 in his 1,000 looked up in his house. But moving swiftly on, because we have got only about an hour 10. Gene, McConnell plays a beautiful ball, left foot. Dare I say a ball that Jabi Alonso would be proud of. Lovely cushion header for Jones. Speak to me about young James McConnell, who I think it was his first start today, but a very assuring. I think his legs were gone by the end of it. He's blowing out of his ass towards the end of it. But what an assuring performance!
What a brilliant performance from the lad. And you mentioned the goal. It was on his weaker foot, left foot. He managed just to ping the ball straight over to Jones. And Jones, you mentioned that he scored a few times in that position now. But what a performance from him. I thought, the kid's got bite. He's only 19.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of challenges that he put in, and I was like, this kid's got something about him. And even so, there's a couple of times I think the easy ball was on, and he managed to play a cute ball inside. So it just shows that this guy has a lot of talent You know, it's weird because we don't go and buy a 6. But, you know, we've got a few already coming through the ranks. We've got Bajicic, as you mentioned, and McConnell as well. So do we really need to go into in a battle of playing 70, 80 million for a 6? Look, I wouldn't do it right now, if I'm honest with you. And some people might have a go at me for saying that, you know, saying that we're not going and spending money. But sometimes you just got to be a bit clever. Why not give these players chances? If these guys are good enough, he put up an actual clinic today. Yes, he was knackered and he was tired.
Oh, Busker, he didn't put a clinic on. This is what we mean. We're using words. We're using words that don't make sense. He didn't put a clinic. He played well. He played well. He played well. He didn't put a clinic. He didn't put a 10 out of 10 performance. He put clinic is the wrong word. He played well. He played well.
For his debut to put a performance like that, for me, was a clinic. You can say what you want. I don't care. For me, for a kid, Avi, you're expecting flipping him to put up a bloody Kante performance, yeah? He's a 19-year-old lad debut. Give the lad his flipping credit. All right, I mean, lies. Yeah, anyway, McConnell, honestly, he was really, really good. And I got to give him a lot of credit today. No, but look, honestly, you know, you mentioned a colour, but, you know, I actually want to
Billy. Thanks, Billy. One of my guys.
Billy. Yeah, I
think he needs a clinic after that cramp that he got after 60 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
He does.
He knows what's his voice. He knows what's his voice.
That's what happens. You talk too loud. That's what happens. All right. Know your place in this channel. On this channel. Okay. You nowhere be like me. Okay. He's gone.
Go out and come back in. Go out and come back in.
Mr. John Thomas. That's what I did. I let him speak. And look, you see, his phone couldn't take it. Anyway, guys, look, I've got a super chat. Actually, you know what? Everyone that's sending a super chat, I will read them at the end because there's some that we've gone past that conversation. We'll come back to it 100% for sure. Hey, look, I'm gonna add you. Let me add you. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Carry on. No, McConnell. We were talking about McConnell putting a clinic in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're on. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
No, we can't hear you now. Oh my god. Yeah, all right, listen.
We can lip read him.
Sarib, your thoughts on the young James McConnell?
I was surprised that he was playing today because we've not seen many, like, predominantly the youngsters that have been coming on have been like Owen Beck and Bobby Clark, and McConnell's not really been the one that's been coming on first, if that makes sense. So I'm not getting the most minutes, and I thought it was a surprise. Maybe some team sheet leaks last night, but I don't buy into it until Asim puts it out himself. So I didn't really expect James McConnell to play, but I was really impressed. And to be fair, a left-footed midfielder.
Did he put on a clinic for you?
Maybe clinic's the wrong word to use, but I thought it was pretty impressive. I think what you're trying to say is that for a 19-year-old on his debut at Anfield, just to be thrown into the team, it was quite impressive. And James McConnell was quite impressive today. And
he was.
That pass he did with his left foot to find Curtis Jones. If that was Kevin De Bruyne, everyone will be throwing the party on the timeline on Twitter. Everyone will be saying, "Oh, De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the world. De Bruyne is this. Thiago's this." We'll be saying. And the pass was very, very well picked out, and he's very comfortable on the ball. He looks like he can pass the ball from left to right very comfortably. He comes in for a tackle. He's a very, very neat and tidy player. And I don't think we've had a left-footed midfielder for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. So it's nice to have a bit of a change in there, and the future's bright for him. I was just a bit of a surprise. I thought Bobby Clark would be getting the game ahead of him, but clearly maybe Klopp sees something that I don't. So fair play to him. He was very impressive.
I think McConnell deserved. He's been a lot on a lot of benches. Once. But the downside to the being on the bench is he's not going to play probably in the reserve matches or the 18s or the 21s or 23s, wherever he plays. But if you're on the bench,
is he 19? 19?
Yeah, he's 19.
I think it's good to give him a little taste of the first team, like Bobby Clark, and give him a few performances here and there. And I think today was one of those games where we could give him a chance.
The downside to that, Avi, is if he's going to make a few benches, then he's not getting the minutes as well, is he? So at least Bobby Clark and these guys have been getting some minutes. But look, I think we've just seen another guy that's been transitioned into a deep line, footballer. He loves the tackle. A few I thought, you know what, make sure you get this right because it can go wrong.
They were quite crunching tackles, and I think he wanted to make an impression as well, but they were well-timed tackles. Talking of crunching tackles and a player who was absolutely brilliant today, Asim, I'm going to come to you. Gina Piet. Hope of. Hold on. First of all, Gina, are you with us? Hello,
Yeah.
Pakistan. Hello. Yeah, you're okay. Got it. So Gina, Conor Bradley, Asim, Conor Bradley. I saw a bit of him last season at Bolton. I can't lie, I did. And I said, this kid, he's the next one who could definitely be cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Stop the show.
Dean's looking as if I'm lying.
He's
looking as if I'm lying.
Tell Avi how great he is. Let's stop the show. Avi, you're great. You
Since the Bolton days.
No, last season. Oh no, last season. Last season,
goals when he scored when I came on Twitter.
On,
Get it right, man.
No.
Listen,
you know
where
me.
did you watch Bolton games?
Oh, you're on the League One shows when they come on. You're highlight. Come on. Conor Bradley, another player
is there a stadium still called the Reebok?
Reebok Stadium, yeah. Reebok Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Listen, I was a big fan of Sam Allardyce back in the day. Bruce Rioch as well before Allardyce. If anyone is as old as that, come into the chat. Jason McAteer, our very own, came from Bolton. John McGinley, a former Bolton player. Gina, I know my Bolton stuff. Dude,
I remember it.
You see Yaskalainen? Remember the goalkeeper?
Yes,
Jokayev.
But later on, Bruno Ngotti and all that, JJ Okocha, of course. But Asim, Conor Bradley, the give and go and the goal for Darwin Nunez. I'm going to let you talk on Darwin Nunez and on Conor Bradley because, you've been one of the staunch supporters of Darwin. And, these two, let them stay quiet. The one underneath, the two underneath us. But go and, I want you to wax lyrical on both players today.
Bradley, every time you see him, he looks fitter, Avi. Those legs, that endurance, that spring, whether he's jumping up for a header or even trying to get a 50-50, even sometimes when he's sort of a 60-30, when the other players 60-30 favourite or winning the tackle, he makes it there or thereabouts. In most cases, he wins that tackle, just like everyone else in that team, especially the youngsters who are coming through the ranks, the Kwanzas, the McConnells today, and Conor Bradley. They all love a tackle, and that's probably the youth that's coming out of them, isn't it? And how confident, how brave they are. That's what I love about this team. And you have to give the management, the coaching staff, a lot of credit, where all these youngsters are a product of what we've seen from this coaching staff and in particular the manager over the last 8.5 years. I think Wenger mentioned it at Arsenal, and he said, look, it's going to take me 10 years to produce some footballers for England in terms of being technically adept to make sure they can, withstand the international, for international football or European football. But that's what we're seeing at Liverpool now. It's a production, a conveyor belt of pure natural talent in terms of these youngsters. And what's the best thing about it? They've got the Jurgen Klopp blueprint, where they love the high energy, the high press, and they're footballers. Again, I go to Wenger. Whenever he said a scout came to me, and the first thing I asked him is, are they technically good enough? Can they control the ball? Can they switch to their left foot? And if they are, then we'll start looking at them. Because if you've got that natural ability, then you can work anything. We were just talking about Curtis Jones' natural ability, and then you can coach him into however you like. But I was kept on looking at him, Avi, today, and I thought, you know what? We found a right-sided Andy Robertson, where that energy...
And the engine. I was going to mention the engine, but you said it before me.
And we saw that in the second goal, that direct play, aggressive athleticism, and that will to make sure, you know what, I'm going to fucking make sure this goes back of the net. And Darwin Nunez, look, I'll come to him in shortly, but I think that the different dynamics now we've got unbelievable footballers who can play in different roles, different formations. We saw that today when there was about 5 million subs across, 30 minutes. But if you want Trent to play in that inverted role, and we've got Gomez and Robertson for the switch on the left-hand side, but if it's not going right, we need something different, then we can say to Trent, you know what, you just stay in midfield. We'll give, the license to Conor Bradley, because if Conor Bradley comes on, whether we're protecting a lead, where we're chasing a game, I don't mind now, because I've got the trust. The fans have got the trust, because the manager and the coaching staff has got the trust, in some of these youngsters. And honestly, he is an unbelievable youngster. We shouldn't put a lot of pressure on him, but we've got something there. And if we can nurture him and keep him developing, I touched on the new manager coming. How lucky is the new manager, whoever he may be, wherever he is in the world, maybe most likely in Germany, and we hope so too, that these youngsters have got so much to give. and we just need the right manager to take him to the next level now. And maybe I've been chatting too much about Conor Bradley. Maybe someone else can talk about Darwin Nunez.
I'll bring it to Sarib. Go on, Sarib, you're going to say something.
I just think Asim puts it beautifully again. I think the amount of young talent we have on our books now is incredible. And I think I said it in August, I said in September, I think this season, what is our best opportunity to develop as many youngsters as we possibly can, because we're in lesser competitions. We're in the Europa League. We are still we've gone further in the cups, which we didn't do last season. We were knocked out the FA Cup by Brighton last season, knocked out Carabao Cup by City. So this season has given us a lot of opportunities to give players that may not have got a chance in if we were in the Champions League to play matches. That's why I think this season is so important to Liverpool Football Club, and maybe this is what we needed to kind of look back instead of look to the transfer market, that we've got players at home that can make that step from the academy to the first team that may have not got the chance if we were competing on all fronts, which we are doing this season. But I mean, the Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, like we were in 21-22. So I think this season it is just a taste of what might be to come for the future of Liverpool Football Club, and we would have never got to see it if we didn't have a season like this.
Check 1 2 1 2 team. Check 1 2.
I'm going to talk about Darwin Nunez.
You're gonna talk. You're gonna take the Darwin Nunez.
I'm gonna speak about Darwin Nunez. The two people in front of me did not have him the starting lineup at the start of the season.
Who didn't?
Yes or no?
Who
I had him
didn't?
in my starting lineup. Did you two?
I didn't.
Who didn't?
Avi, did you? No.
I don't even remember what I did last night. Let alone the first
I'm the one, Avi. I'm the one. So don't ever doubt me on Darwin Nunez. But honestly, in terms of Darwin Nunez, it was a great finish. Conor Bradley did all the work. And fair play to him, he was brilliant on that right-hand side. Like Asim mentioned, he was tenacious. He won the brawl, a brilliant 1-2 with Jota, and he actually put it on a plate for Darwin. But it's these type of chances that I wanted Darwin to finish, and that's what he did today. He put that ball. It was a clinical finish, and that's exactly what I want from him. It was a beautiful finish, and and for once he didn't put he's like in that when he's in that type of sort of position, Avi. Generally, he goes with power. But this time he didn't. It was a placed finish into the corner. So, I was over the moon. If there's one player that I want to get goals right now, is Darwin, because if he can carry on with the form that he's in, I think he's got 4 in the last 3 or 4 games.
11 in all comps.
Sorry?
11 in all comps.
21 goal involvements in 33 matches.
There you go. And another thing I'm going to mention is, honestly, if only that curler went in, man. Honestly, I was praying that went in.
I was right behind that, Gene.
It was a beautiful hit. And you know what? Honestly, I thought it was in. So you got, and the way he hit it was perfectly, and the cup or the whole ground would have gone absolutely ballistic if that had gone in. So
you just know he's going to try it, isn't it, Gene?
You do. In that position, I know and we've seen that he's got that in his locker. He scored like that previously. He's had a couple of efforts like that. It's just when that happened, for me, it was like, for flip's sake, how many times is this guy going to hit the post and bar this season? But thankfully, the main chance when it fell for him, he took it. He didn't miss any chances today either. So I got to give him a lot of credit.
Avi, if I must say, I want to come back to you on Conor Bradley, because I think, joking aside, you deserve to talk about him. But I think the guys who have been campaigning about Darwin Nunez to play on the left-hand side can see now over the last 3-4 weeks that he's not a left winger. You have to play Darwin Nunez down the middle. And if he's going to go onto the left in terms of being fluid and interchanging with the likes of Diaz and Curtis being part of that trio on the left-hand side, or if he goes into the right-hand side channels and linking up with Salah or Jota or Conor Bradley, as we saw today, then you let him, because he's a mad one. You let him because he is going to cause chaos. I know we're not allowed to use that word, but that's what this player is. That's what there's an organized type. There's some organization part of his chaos, because he's absolutely brilliant. He puts defenses 5 yards deeper, 10 yards deeper in some cases, and he brings people into play. And I love the fact that I think he's one of the beneficiaries of a high-flying, high and wide right back, because if he comes into that hole on the halfway line or collecting the ball deeper, then he's got that natural switch. And he played it a couple of times, I think, in the second half to Conor Bradley. But when he's around that box, as long as he keeps that composure, if he gets 7 goals out of 10 games, then I think that's a purple patch for Darwin Nunez. But over the last month or so, we've seen him get important goals like where we're getting the first one and we're getting the winner. And long may it continue, because he's absolutely brilliant. I've never, ever been worried about a player who pops up, who gets the situations. You only get worried about a player who's not arriving in those situations. And it was never the case for Darwin.
Yeah, and look, great forwards have to adapt their game. Look at the transformation we've seen in Harry Kane over the last 3 years. Last 2 years, he dropped back to that 10 position and he was creating more, as well as scoring 25, 30 goals, and he's doing the same thing at Bayern. He's got like, 24 in 20 games and he's creating more, he's assisting more, he's dropping back deeper so that Sane or Gnabry or whoever's playing on either flank, Coman, they can chip in with the goals as well. And we're seeing it with Darwin as well. He's brilliant, but it does help having someone like Conor Bradley who will run the channel as him and put in crosses right by the byline. It helps. So
we've got a Chippendale in the house, have we?
Yeah, Chippendale. Might have to rename it. Moby Hug, Darwin Hive stand up. Love this kid since he was a teenager at Penarol. Respect to all that didn't give up on him. No, certainly. Some did. Sarib and Chin. Something stuck in my. Hold on. Anyway, back to. I'll let you have your say. I'll let you have your say. Stop being petulant before I mute you. Okay, don't. I'll accuse you of everything I want.
No,
right?
that's right, though. You can't
Shut
lie
up.
on him and then
Shut up.
No,
Let me continue.
wrong,
Anyway, back to Conor Bradley. No, it was a listen. He's got a like.
Salib, we get our own back when we go to Jota. Yeah, we get our own back.
Yeah. He's got a great injury on him, and look, he's gonna only improve. And you know what, Darwin Nunez, he does need service, and his service like that. We know that Trent can hit him on a sixpence, but he also hits those balls for a little bit deeper. But Conor Bradley will get to the byline, and he will help Salah as well when Salah's back, or whoever's playing on that right at the moment. He will help them by being that overlap runner. So it bodes well. A little bit more service for Darwin Nunez like that. He'll get to 20 to 25 as quick as possible, and that's what he needs. He needs service. But today it was a clinical finish. Instinctive, maybe still. It still was a little bit instinctive. Gets that touch on the left and hits it with his right. But it was a very good finish. Sarib, sorry, you wanted to say something?
No, because you're saying I didn't believe in Darwin. It's just absolute nonsense. You can go through my Twitter and
you preferred Gakpo to him, and let's talk on Gakpo today.
There's reasons why. Like if Nunez is playing poorly and he's not performing, he's missing 7 chances a game. Am I not going to come on the show and say this guy needs to start scoring?
But you also just mentioned that he had 31 involvements in his last one.
Absolutely. That's fine. But the overall performances for me have not been good this season. But today he was really, really good. Do you think I want to come on this show and slander Darwin Nunez or say Darwin Nunez?
You just said his overall performances haven't been great this season.
I don't think so. But today he was very impressive. Today he was very, very impressive. And his finishes like that he wasn't doing early in the season when he gets one chance and he scores that. When he misses 7 chances a game, I'm going to come on and tell you there's a reason why I don't like this guy playing, because chances like Jota and Gakpo will take those chances. But today Nunez took it, so I'm going to credit him because this is what he needs to be doing on a consistent basis. He cost 85 million. He was very, very impressive today. And this is all I've wanted from him all season, is to come into the team and finish chances when you have the opportunities to do it. And now he's starting to do it. I have nothing to say apart from congratulations, keep going. I don't want to come on the show and criticize players. I'm a Liverpool fan. I want to get behind the players. I am behind Darwin Nunez. But it's just as much as we're all supporters, there's right and wrong. And if I think he's playing poorly, I'm going to come on and tell you that. That's it. It's simple as that.
Tell him, man. You tell him. You sit back on your stand and
absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
Move to the third goal, please.
You can prove me wrong.
By £70 million, Diego Jota.
But it doesn't make sense. He's not made sense. He has said he's been poor overall this season, yet he's had 33 goal involvements.
31.
It doesn't matter. So which one is it? It's all good, like raising your voice and all that, but you just said he's not had overall a great season, yet he's had 31 goal involvements.
He's a striker, Avi.
Are there not similar numbers to what Salah's done this season? 31 goal involvements. Hold on.
21. Huh? That'd be 31, man. He's got 10 goals and 11 assists.
No, it's 33 games, 21 GA.
21, not 31.
That's not overall a great season for you.
You're just looking at the stats, Avi. This is more than stats. You got to break down the performances. Like, he scored 2 against Bournemouth and then 2 against Newcastle. That's like half his goal season in 2 matches. There's content. There's been games he hasn't scored for like 8 games in a row. There's points he's had 1 in like 21 goals. Of course, that's a concern. Just because he scored in the last couple of games, that doesn't take away from the fact that he's missed so many chances this season. He has the 3rd most shots taken in the Premier League, yet he's not even up there with the top scorers. Of course, I'm going to come in and criticize him, but when he plays well, I'm going to say well done to Darwin Nunez. Keep going. I want to be proven wrong. Proving me wrong is the best way, because that's what I want to happen. I want to be proven wrong. And we're going to get onto my boy in a second, but I want to be proven wrong, and he's proving me wrong.
No. He, as long as he says Darwin Nunez is proving him wrong.
he is proving me wrong, and that's absolutely
That's
fine.
fair
I
enough.
want to be proven wrong. If I criticize a player, I want them to show me why I shouldn't criticize him. It's simple as that. And he's doing it, and I'll hold my hand up and say, well done, because his performance today was really, really good.
Well,
It's not
general.
rocket science, is it?
Sarib, go on, Avi.
No, go on, because you want to. It's the same. I want to take it to another conversation, but I'll let you carry on, Asim.
Yeah, look, you can use stats however you like. When Avi gave you those stats about GA, you said, look, those are just stats. He scored 2 goals against Newcastle and this and that. You're so over-exaggerating the stats. But then when you talk about him and you mentioned quickly, oh, he's missing 6-7 big chances, well, whatever they call it these days, chances a game. So you can't, sort of pat away the stats and then use them whenever you feel like it. It doesn't work like that. If you are putting Darwin Nunez, yes, I get that he needs to improve overall in front of goal. He's a striker. He's supposed to be, banging goals for us. But if it's not just about scoring, I think Bobby Firmino, I think he went in that title winning season all season from scoring.
Anfield? Chelsea game, the second to last game where we
second to last game.
Trophy,
and he was our number 9, but he's a different number 9. And I'm not saying Darwin Nunez is Bobby. He's got a completely different role, but he is coming into those spots, spaces and picking up the ball. His technical ability has gone, maybe 20, 30% in terms of improvement in that area. But he gives us so much more. And until he does not give us that, that's when I start questioning him. But I do get Chien's point that he's been making over the last 3-4 weeks that, look, there will be a big game where he only might get one chance. And on the big day, you need to take that. But let's see if he does.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Asim, right now with Darwin Nunez, I have no qualms with him whatsoever. He gets the chances, he's bagging. Yes, if he misses one chance or here and there, it happens. I have no issues with that. He's a striker. He's going to miss chances. No issue. It's just when there were sitters, that's when I had the issue with him. Because when they're sitters, because we all know it's fine margins, and I mentioned it before, but you've got to give the lad a lot of credit. Now he seems like he's a different type of player. He seems like he's a lot more composed in front of goal, and that's all we've been asking for, is to be composed in front of goal. And when that chance falls to you, put it away. And to give him the biggest credit of all is, I was worried when Salah got injured, thinking, you know what? I know we haven't played amazingly tough games over the last 3 weeks since Salah's been away. But boy, has he turned up. And not just him, to be fair, all our forward line have chipped in. The performances might not have been amazing, but the forward line, since Salah's not been playing, since Salah's not been here, and even the week when Salah was here before prior, we look like our forwards are banging form right now. And yes, Gakpo might have a day off. When he has a day off, I want Nunez to come to the fold. When another player's having a day off, the other one comes to the fold. And that's what we've been doing. And that's all we have to pray for from now till the end of the season. Salah's hopefully, inshallah, going to be back in the next couple of weeks. So that's another player that's coming in. Arguably our best player. For me, he's the best player in the team. We've got him to come back into the side. So hopefully, look, I have got no issues with the forward line right now. A month ago, I did have an issue because I felt as though the forward line wasn't clicking. Yes, they were scoring goals, but Diaz wasn't really the Diaz that we've seen of old. Gakpo wasn't playing like he was previously. Nunez went 7 or 8 games without scoring. So there was a fear. But I've got to give a lot of credit to Jota. I know he's my favorite player, but because when he came in, he gave us a completely different dimension to our forward line, and he was finishing off them chances. Yes, today, and look at his finish today. It was an unbelievable finish. Yes, he might have ballooned towards the end, but that was just like a training session. That I'm not even worried about them 2 chances, because when a chance falls to Jota, he puts it away, and that's what Darwin Nunez did today. When that chance fell, he put it away.
I want to move the conversation a little bit to Cody Gakpo. Sarib, I think he's one of your favorite players. You like the way he plays and whatnot. He's having a little bit of a indifferent start of the year 2024. Your thoughts on his performance today?
Yeah, look, I'm one of his biggest defenders. I really like the overall player. I like how versatile he is and how he can give us different dynamics of play. He can play in different positions. But today, it wasn't good at all. And I'm going to be honest, he was playing in his favoured left wing role. He was not good at all. And I'll hold my hands up to say he was not good. And I understand why he may have a poor game, because he's not constant in this team if you look at it. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he wasn't good at all, because he wasn't. As simple as that. He didn't get his goal today. I don't think he was very got in and around the box much. I just think his overall gameplay today wasn't good, and that's very unlike Cody Gakpo because whenever he comes on or does something, he's always involved in the play somehow, somewhere. Always picks up a goal or assist somewhere, even off the bench. But my problem with Cody Gakpo this season is that I don't think he's been given a consistent run of games in a certain position. There's one game he's playing left wing, he's been taken out of the team. Then he's playing as a striker. Then he's playing as a centre midfielder. And for players, especially at the professional level, it's very hard to find consistency when you're not the first name on the team sheet. You're playing 3 different positions, and I think that's one of the issues.
Question for you then. Question for you. At the start of the season, Cody Gakpo was given 4 starts ahead of Darwin Nunez. He was our number 9 at the start of the season. I don't think he took his chance.
But he played centre midfield against Chelsea. He played centre midfield against
one game. But generally speaking, he was our
Bournemouth as well.
Huh?
He played centre midfield against Chelsea, and he played centre midfield against Bournemouth as well. It was Jota Salah Diaz that started on the opening day. Yeah,
Salah played.
Yeah,
Salah set up Diaz, didn't he?
Yeah, so I'm saying
one game. Yes, I accept one game. But
against Bournemouth,
I think he started on the left side of midfield against Chelsea.
Yeah,
one game. Yes, one game.
The same thing against Bournemouth. He started in the midfield as well. At Anfield in the 3-1, he started in midfield. And that's what I'm saying to you. That is not his natural position. And today he played in his natural position.
What's his natural position? Because you told me last week Cody Gakpo's natural position, his best position, is LW.
Yeah, and I will stand by that. And he said it. He's come out and said it himself. My favorite position and my best position is as a left winger. And I think he's played his best football in his career as a left winger. His best goal.
Would you put him ahead of Diaz when everyone's fit?
Not at the moment, no. But I want to see him being given a run of games the same way I wanted Darwin Nunez to be given a run of games to see. But I criticize Nunez because when he's in front of the goal, he's not clinical, and that's why we criticize him. And I will criticize Cody Gakpo because his performance wasn't good, and it's very unlike him because he tends to play well even if he doesn't contribute with a goal or assist. And today he was just completely off it. And he's one of my favorite players. I was really, really happy with the signing.
Sarib, do you think he's had a better season than Darwin Nunez?
No. And I will tell you no, absolutely. But I think there's contributing factors as to why that is the case, because of him not being consistent in the team, him playing 5 different positions. And I think Darwin Nunez has kind of now, I think because Asim says chaos, he gives us much more chaos and more unpredictability. Whereas Gakpo is more predictable. You know what he's going to do when he's playing on the left wing. You know he's going to drop into the pockets. Whereas Nunez, he comes from everywhere. And I get that. My preference of a player is Cody Gakpo, but I can see why he doesn't play because you can't drop Darwin Nunez in the form he's in at the moment. But I would love to see Cody Gakpo on a more consistent basis in a position that he wants to play.
You know the reason why you don't see Cody Gakpo on a more consistent basis, if we're really going to be honest?
Tell me.
Because Jurgen Klopp doesn't trust him.
But
he's a brilliant squad player. And he's a brilliant player for Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, before the chat goes crazy. But Jurgen Klopp doesn't trust him on the big day ahead of Diaz because he doesn't do that work the other way as well.
I get that.
Yeah. As well as Diaz. He's a brilliant protector of the ball. He's comfortable on the inside. So that's why we're likening him to Bobby Firmino. Obviously not Bobby's level, but he does protect the ball. He does a lot of ball retention, just like, Curtis Jones. But if you're going to play at LW, you need end product. You're sort of replacing Sadio. And this is the test that he has had as well since he's becoming sort of transitioning from a wide winger, a one-on-one sort of merchant to a inside forward. Because when you do transition from that inside forward to that inside forward position, you need output. But if you're going to play him on the left of midfield, that doesn't work as well as we saw against Chelsea. Because when we off the ball, we're in a 4-4-2. And suddenly he finds himself in that setup next to McAllister. He's done a good job on the right side of midfield in the Harvey Elliott role because he's been directing that position, Avi. But on the big day, he doesn't press well enough. He doesn't sort of cover shadow enough. And all these traits are massively important to a Jurgen Klopp side. But he's a good footballer. He's a good, smart footballer.
Just on his football, like you say, he's a good footballer. I think he can become a special footballer. I think his close control, his touch, it is quite at a high level. Gene's looking the other way, which is fine. I would love to see Cody Gakpo in a 4-2-3-1
as
as the middle of the three as a
Adi,
10.
See,
the big day, if I may, Sarib, on the big day, the 4-2-3-1 becomes a 4-3-3 because if a team's got three midfielders and they're a good team, for example, Man City or Arsenal, they're going to drag Cody Gakpo on the halfway line. And all of a sudden, we're a 4-3-3 and he's going the other way. He works in a 10 when we spend most of the ball at the time on the outside of our own box against a low block. He's a smart footballer. He can find, the spaces in the pockets, just like, Harvey Elliott has. But Cody Gakpo, again, is a good squad player for us. He's a right footballer because he's adaptable across many, many positions. But at the moment, Jurgen Klopp doesn't look at him on the big day. And that's not a big thing. He can maybe, give him a headache going further. That's his room for development, isn't it?
Just 1 minute, sir. Gene, you've got a face like a slapped ass. You want to talk about Gakpo. You want to talk about Gakpo. Aija, talk about Gakpo.
Things like that, yeah.
Cody,
I need to look the other way, man.
Okay, give me your view. Give me your views on Gakpo. No.
Talking of takes.
No,
We'll go to the third goal now.
No, Gene. Give your opinion.
I want to say something.
No, Sarib, 1 minute. I want him to give him his views on Gakpo. I tell you why.
Why?
I want your views on Gakpo because you've always wanted Gakpo ahead of Darwin Nunez at the earliest part of the season, as Gene. So what's your thinking now? Because you turned your face as if, Gakpo's not for me right now. What is it that he's lacking?
No. Look, I'll be honest. My issue was when you said, I think he can become a special footballer. Look, the lad's a good footballer. He's a really, really good squad player.
He's only 24, Gene.
He's special business, yeah, please. When you're saying special footballer, there's levels.
I said he can become one. He can become a special. He's 24, Gene. Gene, he's 24. He's 24, Gene. He's 24.
Salah for Liverpool 25.
Are you telling me he can't get better?
He's special footballer.
I said he can become a special.
We've got special footballers. You're talking Salah is a special footballer. Van Dijk is a special footballer.
You're telling me he can't develop that skill to go another level?
Of course he can.
You're talking Salah.
He's 24 years old. He's 24 years old.
Okay, but Avi, if he develops into a special footballer, you and Sarib are obviously, and look, I love to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
But if he becomes a special footballer, tell me a Cody Gakpo that's a special footballer. Where's he playing in 2-3 years' time? Tell me. Where can he develop?
Okay, I'll tell you this. I think his versatility can be detrimental at times because Klopp has tried him in the midfield three. He's tried him on the left. He's tried him in the forward. And although Klopp loves players with versatility, I don't think it's helping Cody Gakpo at this stage of his career. Under another manager, and I'm not saying he's struggling now. Listen, today I thought he put a shift in today, Sarib. I thought he was very good. Yes, some chances didn't bounce off. He could have scored.
Yes.
He could have scored 1-2. He had some chances to score. He did. He was unlucky.
Bradley put it on a plate for him once.
Mr. City, but if you're telling me that he can't go on to become a special player, I think he can because Gene, he's got two things that he's got two things that go for him. He's got a touch and close control. He's very good.
You're
with
telling
the ball.
me he's our false nine then?
Yeah, possibly.
Is that the idea that he can develop into a special footballer?
A false nine or in a 10, like you're saying, in a midfield area, but not as a left-sided or right-sided. He has to be it'll have to be a different formation, Asim. We would need to play with a pivot 2 and then a 3 and a 1, like a Nunez up top with the 3, him in behind.
He's a good footballer, man, and he's got a potential to become a very good footballer. Accepted. No issue with that whatsoever.
And Gene, Halo says it right. Gakpo was undroppable last season.
Listen. He was very, very good. He was not special. He was.
I tell you why he was undroppable. Because we didn't have the 8/10s, the Soboslais and McAllisters. So we needed a guy to come into the halfway line and connect play. That's why the comparisons came of Bobby. And we also had, if Nunez played, he didn't have a great touch last year. He didn't have a connector role last year. And he also had the likes of Jordan Henderson feeding him the balls. So the ball wasn't coming. So a guy on the shoulder, you only need a guy on the shoulder like Darwin Nunez if the supply is there. Now this year we've got the supply, we've got the Darwin Nunez, a smarter one who can go beyond on the other side of the defender's shoulders. And this is why we did Darwin Nunez more than Cody Gakpo now, because we've got the architects we need the finishers and the runners in behind as well.
So that point you make about Klopp not trusting Gakpo is absolute nonsense then, because you just gave me 3, 4, 5 points about why Klopp trusts Cody Gakpo. So you just told me there's 5 different reasons why Klopp trusts Cody Gakpo.
Yeah,
You just gave me 5 reasons.
He fitted the system better when we changed the system.
Why are you calling my name?
Had his trust.
Are you talking to me here?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Okay. I told you what happened last year when we changed the system. We
Right.
changed the system. We didn't really have the personnel for it. Obviously, we wanted Trent. Yeah, because we bought Trent to give him more time. We gave him a bit more protection. We can Kanate going as effectively a right back in possession. But we had like Henderson playing back to goal. He's not a guy who can receive it on the ball on the half turn.
Further adds to the point where Klopp trusts him enough to play that position if he's got the lack of players available. So what you said to me is Klopp doesn't trust him, yet he put him into the team because he has the capabilities of playing like Szoboszlai, kind of connecting the attack and midfield together.
No.
So what you said is completely contradicting your other point. You didn't make,
No,
doesn't
it's
make
not.
any sense.
No, it's not.
Of course
No,
it is.
it's not.
You said Klopp doesn't trust Cody Gakpo. Then you gave me 5 different points to say why Klopp should trust Cody Gakpo.
No,
Because he gives us
look. Let me rewind.
Doesn't make any
Let me
sense.
rewind. I don't know what you had for dinner tonight. Let me rewind. I said he doesn't trust Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side because Diaz is ahead of him. His overall, output for me is better. His pressing is better, and his general work rate going the other way is better. So that rules him out for me, in my opinion. And the proof is in the pudding because Diaz is the first team player, as we saw today, as we've seen over the last 4 weeks. He trusted Cody Gakpo. He was a more suited player to us when we changed the system last year because we didn't have Darwin Nunez connecting the play. When you put that box midfield, set it up there, you need the architects in supplying you. We didn't have the architects last year. It was all about Trent. When the ball was going into Henderson, it was going the other way because he wasn't comfortable on the half turn. Now McAllister is comfortable on the half turn. Curtis Jones is, Szoboszlai is, Trent is giving the ball between the lines. And now he's coming to those guys and he's going to Darwin Nunez.
Right.
And this system is working a lot better. So when the system's working a lot better, the architects are there. Now we need a guy, a more potent striker, a box striker, if you like, this season, because we've got the deep architects, the controllers in midfield. And now the need for Cody Gakpo is not as much.
So
how is that hard to understand?
I get, but where does that tie into the fact that Klopp doesn't trust him?
What you said, because he's not playing.
Yeah,
language. Oh, language. Amis watching, man. Please, language.
We've not seen. Asim, how can you say Cody Gakpo wouldn't fit into this team? Because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it consistently enough to know that. So how can you make a judgment that Cody Gakpo wouldn't work in this team because we've got more creativity from him?
I go what's the penalties?
We haven't seen
it. Please, serious with you, man.
Cody Gakpo is a brilliant squad player for Liverpool right now.
And we talk about Nunez being one of the top strikers, yeah? Yeah, in all competitions, Cody Gakpo, this is just stats now. You guys love your stats. Cody Gakpo's got 9 goals. In all competitions where Nunez has got 11 goals. That is our number one.
What the hell? These guys have gone backstage.
No, come back. Whereas Cody Gakpo's played midfield, he's played left wing, he's played striker.
Oh, when you two went, our views went,
Liverpool, yet he's got 2 less goals than Darwin Nunez. And that's not me shitting on Darwin Nunez because Cody Gakpo was really, really bad today. And Darwin Nunez is really, really good. But I'm just telling you why I'd prefer a player like Cody Gakpo in my team ahead of Darwin Nunez. And if we're looking at the goal output in general, Nunez has so many missed chances. Gakpo plays centre midfield, left wing, striker, not even near the box most of the time. Yet he's got 2 less goals in all competitions.
Is this about goals?
No, but I just gave you a consensus because you lot love your stats,
This
isn't
is
it?
about goals.
No, but this is
We
general.
look at a much better team. Do
There's
we
no
look a much better team with Darwin Nunez
at this moment? Yes, and that's fine. And I said this. I already said this.
Argument over.
No, but it's not argument over. We have not seen Cody Gakpo consistent enough in this team because of Darwin Nunez looks better in this team. That's fine, but we've not seen Cody Gakpo.
You think the manager's getting it wrong at the time?
Absolutely not, because Darwin Nunez deserves to play in this team at this moment in time. Look at his form over the last couple of weeks.
Darwin Nunez deserves to be in this team.
Right.
If the manager is not getting it wrong and not putting Cody Gakpo in the team, then where's it going wrong for you?
Gakpo, I want to play as a left winger. I don't want Diaz in this team. This is not about Nunez. I don't want Diaz in this team. Darwin Nunez can play fine. I didn't ask Nunez to be dropped. I just want Gakpo to be playing in his preferred position on a more consistent basis, so then we can make a
The
general.
other point I
general
forgot to
idea
make.
on
Last
what-
point.
Guys,
last point.
chup karo, chup karo, chup karo. Asim, hold on. Chup, no, Chin, hold on. Chup karo now. Listen. This will go on behind the scenes on the phone chat. Both are making their points. Sarib is defending Gakpo. Asim showing us why at the moment he's not fitting into this system and why he can't be trusted. And Sarib will come back with more as well, and that's totally fine. Listen, we have to move swiftly on. We've done 1 hour 10. I'm hungry as well. Listen, Diogo Jota. I'm not going to keep saying it. That he's proved me wrong. I put my hands up and say he has.
Oh,
But-
here we go.
Gine, you text me today and said Fowler finish. Left foot, brilliant finish. One chance as well,
What a
clinical.
finish, Avi,
But
man.
I will
What a
let
finish.
Gene, I want to let you, because these two just got to put something in your mouths, boys, because you don't buzz will get it. Let me and Gene talk on Diogo Jota. Gene, he's doing it again. 12 goals already for the season.
The
What a
man's
finish!
fighting,
First
Avi,
time,
man.
boom.
Honestly, Avi, the man is fighting. What a finish. Left foot, bang. This is what you get with Diogo Jota in that box. When that chance falls, when you need him to score, and when you want that ball to one man, you want it to fall to this man. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a goal. This is what Diogo Jota gives you. And today, the way he drops deep now on the big, and I'll tell you why I give him his biggest credit. But previously, Avi, when Jota played on the right-hand side for Liverpool, he never, ever looked comfortable. When Salah went previously, and there's a few games he played on the right, it just didn't work. It didn't click. But now the few games that he's played there, it's clicked every single time he receives the ball. His internet is the way he drops deep and he plays them 1-2s around the box.
The interchanges, his overall gameplay has been
everything. Today, yes, the 2 shots that he had over the bar. I'm not even going to talk about them because it was he just went for them at that time. If that chance fell when it mattered, believe you me, he would have brought one of the balls down and gone for it. It would have been a different type of finish. But what an absolute boy! Honestly, Avi, it was a Fowler-esque finish today, and that's why I text you, because I know I'm the one that said to you, you know what? He's not a better finisher than Fowler. I know he still laced it. And I know he put power into it, but it was an unbelievable finish.
Asim, I want to mention this because I have said that. Look, his finishing reminds me of Robbie Fowler, and it's natural as it can be. He can score, he can pelt the ball, he can finish the ball, he can slot it well, he can header the ball, left foot, right foot. He's got everything in his game. Now he's bringing others into play as well. Whereas seasons before, he's only been known to be a goal scorer. But Diogo Jota, what a player this season he's had, and if he stays injury free, he's looking at again another 20-goal season player.
By the way, when do we sign an admin guy? This admin guy, whoever he is, has our account been hacked, or have we found a budget for an admin guy to be backstage putting these comments up? Who is it? Is it you, Avi, or
No, because it's not me.
I think it might be Junior or Axie, but it seems to be nice and different.
So,
We're
wait.
interacting. We're interacting with the.
Avi, ask him do you still want 70 million from Newcastle
Who?
for Jota?
That's not me. That's Avi.
No,
That's
Avi, not Asim. I said Avi. We still think.
I don't need to respond to you.
Why?
Yeah, you do.
Why?
I don't need to reply
Yeah,
to.
man.
I don't need to reply to
Avi,
anyone
Avi,
because there was context. There was context to this.
Context.
Last summer, there was context to this.
No, there
Again,
wasn't.
look, all
One
three of
was.
you, you're ganging up on me like bloody
Here
Inzi,
we go,
Ijaz,
here
and
we
Sutlane,
go,
right?
here we go.
Nick the twist. You haven't been beaten India in a World Cup, okay? So please, bus karo. Listen, I said if Diogo Jota cannot stay fit,
Coming from an England fan.
if he keeps having these injuries every season, then I would consider a 70 million pound bid, because Newcastle will flush with the cash. Okay, we'll flash with the cash as well. Okay, so I've said, because he's staying fit. No, I said he's staying fit.
You see money,
He
and
will bring goals.
That's the problem
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, that's
You
why.
take it.
That's why I jumped ship to this channel. I was getting paid well. But anyway, forget all that. Listen, I've said, listen.
We don't pay you. Let's
If
let
Jota,
me make that
if
clear.
Jota
man.
can stay fit, if Jota can stay fit, then yes, he's a player that I want to keep. And listen, I love Diogo Jota, don't get me wrong, but the injuries, they take its toll. I don't want it to be another Naby Keita situation where we persevered with Naby, and what happens, Naby goes out on a free. We couldn't get any value for Naby. That's what I said. But Jota this season, you don't sell him. He's indispensable. There's your answer, Sarib. So if you can want to flex your biceps,
That's what you
go on.
call.
If you want to flex your biceps, go on some men's
Avi.
channel or some men's adult channel
That's what you
and do
call-
that. You don't do that here.
No.
Avi, you pitched one right in the rough there. That is a brilliant spinner. big leg
Congo
break
missed
for
as
you.
well.
That was a googly. That was a
Even
googly.
Harbhajan Singh would be proud of that.
That shows
You're
we
asking,
can
what
talk-
do the Indians know about bowlers,
could be
man? They
wrong
don't know
on
what
players.
bowling is.
Hey, calm. I know we don't have many Indians in the chat, okay? But listen,
Yeah, man, the last
I'm
one, by the
representing
way,
you guys
I'm
today.
They're a
not
bit
allowed, by the
sore.
way.
They're a bit sore today.
I
They're a
banned
bit
cricket
sore.
chat from the BNR chat. Yeah, so I better not talk cricket.
Go on,
They're,
Sarib, what you gonna say,
victim,
Sarib?
they're victims of the buzz ball today. But
Well,
anyway,
that's the
let's
show
move
us.
on. Avi, 100%. I think Norwich didn't have a fucking clue where Jota was playing today. He kept on popping up in pockets of space, spinning defenders, and his heading ability, his sort of strength is very, very underrated. You guys are talking about Robbie Fowler. I sort of found that.
Can't say Owen.
No. I thought there was bits of Suarez in that finish where he was a bit unbalanced. He right foot, left foot. It was a bit so Suarez. And maybe so I'm saying that because Suarez kept fuck out of Norwich all the time. Every time he played them. But
That finish, Van Persie scored like one like that when they
Yeah.
won the title.
and you
against
know what
Villa.
the funny thing is? He tried it again about 5 times. He put it,
So,
he had
yeah,
to put it
with
into
his
the
right,
goal.
with his right foot, with his right foot.
Yeah.
But Sarib, I'll let you talk on Diogo Jota because I think you will agree with all three of us on his form this season and today's performance too.
Look, he is amazing, Jota. And I've been critical of him too in the past, where I've said many times, and you made a very good point to me, Avi. I saw bits of it today where he's starting to become more of he's starting to show more in his game, where we used to sit on the show and say, oh, this guy, when he doesn't score, what does he actually do? He's a ghost in the game. But even today, that cross he did for Darwin Nunez on his left foot, by the way, sometimes I don't know if this guy's right foot, left foot, or what is he? And that cross he put in for Darwin Nunez, just like he wasn't doing that before. Now he's starting to get into these positions where he contributes more than just goals. And his overall gameplay is becoming good. I think it was Rangers. No, was it Rangers at home? Or was it one of the Champions League games where he was playing more of like a connector, or he was playing behind the striker, where he was passing Rangers really good. I can't remember exactly, but it was he's becoming more intelligent. And as years go on, he's starting to develop his game more and more. And the more you think about it, Suarez was very similar in this way, where he was more than goals. His finishing was really good, but he was more than goals. And I'm not making a direct comparison, but he's starting to mature as a player, Diogo Jota. And it only bodes well for Liverpool. He had a very tough task when he signed for us to break down the Premier's greatest front three. And he got himself into that front three quite a few times. I remember the hat-trick against Atalanta. He started in the left wing ahead of Mane at Old Trafford. He started the 21-22 season ahead of Bobby Firmino. And ever since Luis Diaz has come in, he's been a bit on the fringes, injuries, but now you can't drop the guy. The guy is one of the first names on the team sheet.
I mean, the biggest compliment I could make pay to him is, barring injuries, he'd be really knocking on that door of the untouchables of Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah, Trent. If it wasn't for injuries, Diego, nearly cop from Chin there. Diego would be really knocking on that door. And the only thing that doesn't make him probably an untouchable. Some people would say whenever he's fit, whenever he's in the team, he's untouchable because he knows the business of putting that ball in the back of the net, and that's the most difficult thing to do, as we know in football. But those guys, Trent, Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah, they churn out a lot more games than Jota, and that's probably the only reason why I don't put him in that category just yet.
I don't think there's another player like him in the Premier League. He's got that trait. He's got a knack of just sniffing out a chance out of nowhere. And prior to this season, I kept always saying he's an enigma. He will stay on the peripheral for like 85, 86 minutes, and he will grab a goal, an important goal as well. If it weren't for his injuries, he's a 1-in-2 striker.
Yeah.
I think you'd have an identical goal-scoring record, dare I say it, like Mo Salah, if he didn't get the injuries, because he missed 2-3 months out of the seasons in the last 3 years that he's been with us. So he's a fantastic footballer, and this year he's combined everything: the interchanges, the 1-2s, his overall gameplay, his work rate. He's an absolute joy to watch. And listen, he's entering that age peak years, 27, I believe. I think he turned in December. These are the next 2-3 years. If we can just hold on to him and he stays fully fit, and his ambition, and he wants to stay at Liverpool, we're looking at one of the all-time top 5, top 10 goal scorers of Liverpool Football Club. Gene, I want to get on to something that gives me the ultimate satisfaction, is a Virgil van Dijk header. Great cross from Szoboszlai. I want you to talk through it because we saw his interview yesterday, Van Dijk's. I think you could tell from his body language he was taken aback by Klopp's announcement. But he's gonna have to rally the troops here. Anyone that's thinking we're unsure whether he's the club, he's our captain. He's gonna have to reassure these boys, these players, the youngsters that listen. Even though Jurgen's leaving, this is the club to be.
Look, Avi, I mentioned it earlier. I think the biggest compliment I can give him is in terms of the actual team today was, we looked energized and we looked unfazed by the Klopp news, because I thought that would be, that would have some sort of might have had some sort of effect on the actual team. We played free flowing football, and this is why I'm just so glad that I'm just so glad in terms of Klopp, Avi. I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly worried, thinking, are there gonna be players who are gonna be fazed by it? But no, we went out there and we did a professional job. I know, I can understand, yes, it's Norwich and these things, it's not one of the most difficult games, but we saw teams go to Newport Town and really, really struggle for a win. Fair play. Look, I have got to give him a lot of credit. He's coming to the side. He looks revitalized with the captain's, with the captain's armband. And in terms of the goal, it was a brilliant cross from Szoboszlai, a brilliant header, and there was a couple of times before that where he won the header in the box as well. He is pivotal to this Liverpool team. When he's not playing, look, I know in terms of Kanate, he's improved his switch. Even Kwanzaa is good enough to play that switch, but this guy gives us a complete different dimension. And he is our captain. He gives captain performances, and he is the best defender in the world. So when he's not playing, he's a massive miss. But him coming back in the side, Avi, this side right now, with the news that's come out, isn't a side that needs any invitation in terms of what that is to go and win this season. They were going for 4 trophies. He doesn't need to G up these troops. These troops know exactly what needs to be done, and he is at the front of the pack. He will lead by example whenever he needs to, because that's who Virgil van Dijk is. But trust me, he was captain material before. He wants to be able to be that player that lifts that trophy in front of the fans come May.
Asim, he came to Liverpool for titles and Champions Leagues and trophies. He's getting that. He rejected big money, Chelsea, Man City. He will be hurting a lot because you can tell he's Klopp's favorite player. Klopp really went for him and told him, listen, we're going to come back in for you for January. We've done things the wrong way in the summer in obtaining you. Southampton have reported us, but we're going to be back in for you. And we did get that deal done before the new year, around December time for Van Dijk. He'll be hurting, but he's the one that needs to carry this team forward under the new manager, whoever that may be, right?
Yeah. He's going to earn all of his money, isn't he? And maybe he's at a junction himself now, because we need to tie him down as well, alongside a few others. Mostly is breaking news: Egypt through, yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
That's through. Great news for the king. And look, Virgil van Dijk, we were just talking about the untouchables. You're in that category because you are simply special, and that's an understatement when you talk about Virgil van Dijk. Some idiots in Holland over the summer said, this guy's not a leader, he doesn't talk enough on the field.
We can name them: Rijkaard, Hullet, Koeman, some Marco van Basten, great Dutch players, Speak now. Go on, Asim.
These pundits were clearly great players, obviously, but looking for attention. That's all they were, and they weren't really giving him a fair crack at things. But for Liverpool, if you press him whilst we're in possession, he can ping it 80 yards, calm as you like. We don't have to win the second ball because he wins the first ball for us. And look, this guy is the ultimate defender on and off, in and out of possession. And we can sit here all night. I know you don't have enough time and you're hungry, Avi. We have all night to talk about our captain, our leader, our voice on the pitch. And he's got a role now, to just like Gene has touched on, that this part of this leadership's sort of job is to make sure everyone is centered towards the business end of the season, because we obviously need to do it for the manager as well, but we need to do it for the fans. We need to do it for themselves as well. We're in a cracking position. If someone told us last summer that we're going to be in all 4 competitions, sitting at the top of the league with this squad, and I think Jake was mentioning to me on WhatsApp today that Jurgen Klopp, in terms of his squad and his depth, is probably the best it's been. And at the helm, at the top of that, leading all his troops, is Virgil van Dijk. And I have no doubt he'll be lifting a few trophies come May.
Sarib, is Saliba a better defender than Van Dijk?
No. No. That's me silly questions. No, absolutely no. Van Dijk is the best centre back. Obviously, you love watch football much longer than me, but I think prime Virgil van Dijk from 17 to 20 is the best defender I've ever seen. I've not seen a prime like that from anyone.
Sarib, I will tell you from me, and I've watched a few. Van Dijk, I've never seen a more dominating defender than Virgil van Dijk.
I agree.
And I thought Jaap Stam was special. And I know he only had 2-3 years at Man United, and people say, oh, the longevity on Jaap Stam and that. I thought Jaap Stam was a dominating defender. But for me, Virgil van Dijk, in my eyes, I've seen Nesta, I've seen Maldinis, I've seen Cannavaros, the Barresis, but Virgil van Dijk is the one for me. Gene? Top centre, because you've seen a few. You've seen Beckenbauer, you've seen Roger Moore, David Bailey, whoever. Like Van Dijk, where does he stand in your rankings, Gene? Hansen?
He's definitely up there in the top 2-3. Definitely. Look, I'm not in terms of what he's able to do with the football as well. Not many players can do with the football. Not many defenders can do what you mentioned. Jaap Stam. Jaap Stam couldn't ping a ball 60 yards. This guy can. The way he commands that defense, and back then, Avi, was different football. We play on the halfway line. It's completely different. Back then, there were defenders that used to sit back. There'd be banks of four. It'd be different. Their full backs weren't pushing up as high. The two midfield was slightly different. They'd have proper holding midfielders as well. It was different. We play full throttle football, front foot football, and this is why Virgil van Dijk is something else. He's a special footballer.
Colin Hendry.
He's a stalwart for Blackburn. Stalwart. Good defender. That's one of the underrated defenders. He's good. Gino was friends with him as well back in the Blackburn days.
But I think Gene makes a great point. Nobody plays like us. Nobody. And today, even you saw with a few youngsters.
Listen. What's going on?
What are you on about, man? Which
fucking idiots are saying that Egypt are out now? Someone's been trolling us, you know that?
Yeah, someone did say stop trolling.
Oh, yeah, what the hell, man? Yeah, chutti mein.
Egypt goalkeeper missed the pen. Tamizi. I'll believe Tamizi.
Egypt out.
Oh, guys, in the comments, what are you looking at your phone for? How many times have I told you, get off your phone? It's a show we're doing here. Be professional.
I'll check the comments.
You're like you were in a science lesson. You get the whip out.
Lads, you got trolled. Listen, that's the story of our life. Don't worry.
Trolled, man. We literally got trolled in the comments.
Listen, I got trolled all summer.
I'm used to it. It's the biggest troll, and you got trolled.
I'm used to it. But listen, I want to come back to the final goal. We all got trolled. Asim, Ryan Gravenberch needed a goal. I thought he was a lot better today.
Yeah,
good goal. Luis Diaz. I didn't even know that he did that little flick to control the ball. The one he did against Everton.
Oh yes, he did.
I didn't see that until before I came on the show.
He did that.
Lovely control. Puts it onto Conor Bradley, who hits it into the ground. But a lovely finish from Gravenberch. A well worked goal.
Yeah, and just before that, it was Szoboszlai's little, key pass, where Diaz. That's what I do like, having a natural winger who hugs the touchline, because you stretch the opposition, and if you've got that player in Szoboszlai who can. Because we see when Harvey Elliott plays that position, he comes inside, plays the ball to the back post or the ping to the winger. But I think Szoboszlai is a lot better technically. He's got a lot more sort of array of passing ability, left or right, either side. And I just thought we even saw a little cameo of Szoboszlai in those 20-25 minutes that what we missed. And we might touch on it, but his counter pressing was unbelievable as well when he came on, and that's why
the injury probably came at the right time. I know we said it a few weeks back. The injury probably came at the right time for Szoboszlai, because he can recharge himself. 17 games to go in the league. Maybe a few others in the other competitions, but Szoboszlai probably was the one that needed a rest. Asim.
Yeah, 100%. But just going back on Gravenberch, Avi, I thought he deserved that, and it'll be good the way he celebrated as well. The goal, I think it was a bit of relief. And you have to understand, we've been all protecting our boys in the team, because we're providing extra context when we're protecting our own, whether it's Nunez or Gakpo for Sarib or Jota for Chin. But in terms of Gravenberch, when he's generally been playing, He's been playing on the right-hand side for the last month or so. And we saw him even making those runs into the right-hand side channel for, Conor Bradley playing that ball into the in behind that right side. So Gravenberch can whip a ball across, just like a KDB type of cross. But I know we talked about it earlier on, and we don't need to go into it a lot. I'm not worried about Ryan Gravenberch. He is a player who plays on the half turn. He plays, the football the right way. We just need to sort of fine tune those bits and bobs, and he'll be a brilliant footballer. And he had a decent game, nothing special, but when he gets a stint in this team, that's all he can do. He keep on performing and giving the manager, and next season giving the new manager a headache, because that's all he can do. And we have to understand, he's been here for about 3 to 6 months, for God's sake. He's not going to set the world alight straight away. And even if someone like Szoboszlai did at the start, like you touch on, even these brilliant players who have brilliant starts, they will have those moments where, you just sometimes need to give them a rest and protect them, if you like. So, yeah, Ryan Gravenberch, decent game, and long may it continue.
Avi, just before you go, there's a couple of times which I've seen, and I'll tell you what I love about Gravenberch, the way he switches feet, man. There's a few times now. He did it today as well. He was so unlucky that the keeper, I think it was the keeper that made the save. Even that, I think it was against the Fulham where he switched feet, and I think he put it wide then. So I love the way he does that, because he always puts the defender on his ass. He's
a glider. He glides with the ball as well when he's dribbling. He's glide, and only very few players have that trait where you can just see the symmetrically just gliding with the ball rather than a full on like a dribble at you. He just sort of goes in a nice sort of direction.
He does about 2-3 things all at once, and that's why you can't jump in with him, because he'll bypass you straight away, just like we saw against Rodri earlier on so many times. I think he did it. He bypassed the keeper where he wrong-footed the keeper when he was supposed to goal, because the way he thinks, he moves on the half turn and he controls the ball in one movement. And that's what makes him such a brilliant player in central areas, because he can shift anywhere, just like Chin says. But yeah, we just need to fine tune him, because there's a footballer there.
Sarib, a player that looks to be back in form in 2024. Lucho Diaz, another nice little cameo today.
Yeah, he's starting to get that kind of Lucho vibe that when he first came to Liverpool, where he's taking on players, just shifting the ball quick, dribbling through 1, 2, 3, that he wasn't having 3-4 weeks ago. So it's nice to see. I still want to see it more, but the signs are definitely positive. I want to keep it short because I know we are running out of time. But no, I think Diaz, he is starting to improve, and he's starting to contribute with goals as well, and the goal against Arsenal and the goal against Fulham, just those positions that we used to see him in during the 21-22 season before his injury, and early 22-23. So long may it continue for Lucho. Long may it continue.
Great stuff. There are a few super chats that I wanted to address. Thanks for everyone that tunes in and contributes in the comments. But we have got a couple of super chats. First one from Red Gorilla. Thank you for tuning in. From the video that was released, it is pretty clear Klopp is unwell and he is taking time out to recover. It was cryptic, but pretty clear to me. I'm going to go to you, Gene. Gene, regarding this comment, he looks unwell, time out to recover. I just think he looks exhausted myself, but your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's more exhaustion. I don't, if it was, it might come out. That's something that we don't really know. But in terms of tiredness and stuff, and Asim mentioned in the show yesterday, I mentioned it last year, that there was just something not fully right with Klopp. He did look tired. And, like I mentioned earlier in the show, if you're a manager of Liverpool, you have to be emotionally invested in managing this club. And that's one of the things. So it's going to take its toll. And we've seen that in the past with our previous managers as well. It does take its toll. And I just think he's absolutely knackered and shattered personally, that, his time's come to say, I've done my time. It's probably come a year before than probably expected.
Another super chat, and I'll come to Asim and Sarib from Selection. Thanks, Selection, for tuning in today. Anyone pro De Zerbi better than Alonso, in my opinion?
Big shout out to the Selection, Avi. He's always in the super chats. He doesn't have to be. He can make comments in the normal chat as well. But a big supporter of BNR. And thank you very much.
Asim, before you go, do you think for the first time, I know you keep all the fun. Do you think we can split the super chat 4 ways this time?
You don't need to split it with me. I'm all good.
I'm joking.
I'm
Guys,
all good.
joking.
I'm all
just
good.
joking. I'm just
I'm all
joking.
good with the
Listen,
splitting.
wait.
But
I'm joking.
Whatever
I will
we
let-
get, we invest.
I'm
We-
I will
just
let.
joking.
I will let.
We invest.
We invest in new camera equipment for Asim for Anfield. But listen, selection. I'll let selection know later on. I'll text him later on. Asim. I'll give you his
Go on,
number.
Asim,
as
I'll
well.
let you answer it first. Go on.
You can. I think selection might be coming to England as well. I think April, May time as well. So anyway, anyone pro De Zerbi better.
Anyone pro De Zerbi?
Zerbi better than Alonso in my opinion. For a squad that thrives in transition, he's a master at creating transitional situations in different scenarios. Only issue is up top. Lots of injuries. Selection. Next time you're going to message, just check your spelling. Traditional and up. Only issues up stuff. Only issues up stuff. Anyway, lovely. Thanks for tuning in, selection. As always, you're my brother.
What is that supposed to say though? Only issue is what?
Up top. Only issues
Up
up
top.
top.
Up top, I reckon.
Master-
Lots of injuries.
I think you know
De
the
Zerbi.
possession-based football is all about keeping control, but also creating those what do they call it? What do they call it? Like mini transition moments. So you entice the opposition by giving the ball to the keeper, draw in the press, and then go. So you've got the ball, but you've got a transition moment whilst in possession. And De Zerbi is one of the key sort of components of that. But you know, I think in terms of his personality, he's definitely a character. He smokes. I think the cigarette sales will increase in Liverpool if he joins us. He might like a cigar like Pep Guardiola as well at the end of the season. But I think, look, he has a philosophy also. We keep saying transition situation that created through baiting. Just what I said. Baiting the press. That is probably a better word to use. But I think in terms of high press, wide rotations, all this sort of stuff, he has a philosophy. Maybe I've been talking to Ricky as well that he's too perfect and he likes all his players closer together, you know, creating all those angles as well towards, you know, Atik. There we are. As long as it's not towards my wage next month, that's all right. So, yeah, look, there's definitely a brand of football there, Avi. But I think I've been talking about it last night as well and touched on it, that Xavi Alonso does have a brand of football, a style of football. And I think there's a bit more control to Xabi Alonso's less risk-free maybe, which I'm all in for Jurgen Klopp, high press, high energy as well, like we've seen this season. But I think maybe it's a better fit for Liverpool next season, where there's a new manager and then you start working your squad out, your players out in terms of personnel and characters, and then going from there. I like him, but Alonso ticks all the boxes for me.
And on that, I will ask I'll go around the panel. One answer. If Xabi Alonso is out of our reach in the summer, one name. Gene?
Ooh.
Oh, I honestly don't have a clue of it. I'll be honest, I like De Zerbi, but I don't want him. Everybody's mentioning, you know, Hassan's just put up Amarin. I'm not going to say
Ruben Amorim.
I've heard of him. I've seen.
Isn't there a release clause?
I don't know how good he is.
15 million.
Oh, we ain't paying it.
I honestly don't know. I can't say that I know much about Amarim. You guys have mentioned
one name, Gene. One name. I didn't need explanation.
I
Amarim. I need one name though. One name. Who would you want?
If it's not Xabi Alonso, can I go first?
Go on.
No, Gene's going first.
I let him go because I don't know.
Can I go first? Pep Linders.
That's what I was going to say as well.
Sarib?
I was going to say Pep Linders as well, but that's if we don't get Alonso, that's the one I want. But if Pep Linders is going to leave at the end of the season, so I will say De Zerbi. But Pep Linders, if we don't get Alonso and Pep Linders was available, I'd go Pep Linders.
Avi, do you think that door is closed for Pep?
Yeah,
I think so. As well.
Without any like ITK, I think he's going somewhere else. Gene?
The reason I'm not going to say these lot have already said it. Probably Nagelsmann.
Okay.
Shout.
Fair enough.
Avi, Thomas Frank.
I'm going to say two names.
Oh no, one. One.
What an absolute
How
joke shop.
Why didn't you give us 2 names
What?
then?
You've got 2 names.
You can't even think of one, Gene.
He gave you one.
Just
You
give,
can't
he
think of
asked for one, so just give
After
one.
looking at the comments.
I'm stuck. Two names. One which is a little bit outright, like far right. One, I think Ruben Amorim would be a definitely consideration. I think the other is Matthias Jasler. I think he's another sort of dark horse. He's in Saudi at the moment. But anyway, I think everyone's first choice.
Aren't we? We're going to the data. We're going to the data.
Data, yeah. And I think everyone's first choice is Xabi Alonso. I don't think that's.
We're going to the data.
As Asim, Steven Gerrard.
With all due respect, great player. Never been a fan.
Alonso and Steven Gerrard as a assistant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I won't mind that. Because I think, look, I don't want to put any disrespect to Stevie G because he was a great player and one of the best ever to wear that shirt. But I think I like innovation. I think Pep Linders is an innovator. Xabi Alonso is an innovator. All these guys that you mentioned, I don't think Stevie G is an innovator.
And are we all presuming that an announcement will be made at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. Just because I believe that there's a potential, if Alonso is a successor, I still think there's a potential that we could play De Zerbi and Alonso in the Europa League, and we play Brighton again. That's why I think it's going to be one of those two, and that's why I think it won't be announced now, because we can still play Alonso in the Europa League final. We can still play Alonso in the round of 16 or whatever is in the Europa League quarter semi. Same with Brighton. So I think it will be one of those two. But just because we're going to play those teams again and play those coaches again, I don't think they'll be announced anything like that.
Have you some?
Tom Izzy with the question: would you take guys, the sporting director? Just a story about this, Tom Izzy. Hugo Viana could have been a Liverpool player before he went to Newcastle. He played in the under-21s tournament back in the day. He outshone everyone. He was dubbed the new Rui Costa, but I think injuries and stuff took its toll. He never sort of took his game to that level. But no, I don't think he's in the reckoning for sporting director.
The return of Edwards?
No, I think they've got a great thing going at Ludonomics. I think that's the company. Him and Ian Graham. I don't know. Richard Hughes' name has been mentioned. He was a former player at Portsmouth. I don't know. I think director of football. I think the sporting director appointment though is just as crucial as the manager approval as well.
There's a few that I saw earlier. Frankfurt, Marcus Crochet, if I pronounce
Name's
that.
been mentioned, yeah.
Berta from Atletico Madrid, Enrique from former of Porto and PSG, Maurice from Rennes, Paul Mitchell, Monaco, Dan Ashworth from Brighton to Newcastle, wasn't it?
Who's the Bournemouth one that resigned from Bournemouth? What's his name? The guy from Bournemouth, their director of football.
Richard Hughes, isn't it? Richard Hughes.
Is that the one? Is that the one? Because that's the one I've seen us linked to the most.
Yeah. And does he give a shout for Areola?
Fucking hell. Imagine. But look,
I think that's his name, isn't it?
I think groundwork has been done. I think that's a nice word for you. Groundwork. If Klopp had told us in November, I would be shocked if we weren't getting the ball rolling then. But listen, guys, this has been a great
just before you go, you think we've got the word from the guy who's going to come in? Is that what you're telling me?
I think the words that are coming out from certain clubs is we won't stand in his way, and I think they won't stand in his way if two clubs come in from as the two clubs that he's played for.
That's an ITK
guy. It's going to be crazy, isn't it? It's going to be a proper merry-go-round in the summer. Barcelona looking for a new manager, possibly
Arteta. And he was a La Masia academy boy, wasn't he? So I think there's going to be a big merry-go-round. I think so.
Maybe Ten Hag gets the sack. Man United looking Ineos want their own manager in.
I would be. I tell you what, I'd be shocked if Ten Hag's still at United next season.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked if Ten Hag's United. And Arteta could be like, you know what? Barcelona is my dream job, and if Barcelona come knocking, although I do feel sorry for Xavi because that Laporta situation up in Barca, I think it's a political play. I don't think any top manager should be touching that job.
I don't think Arteta's going anywhere at the moment. He has unfinished business at Arsenal,
and I think they've invested too much in him.
Yeah,
for him to part ways. But guys, this has been great. Another Sunday. Hopefully, we've been a little bit better than we were on Friday and Saturday. We're still sort of picking up the pieces, the aftermath, but listen, it's the journey continues. Our quest for a quad goes on. Wednesday's a big game. We're doing a pre-match, I believe, and a post-match as well. Myself, Jake, and a newcomer will be here on Wednesday as well. A former friend, a friend of mine from a former channel. But yeah, guys, he's been Born Red. Please like and subscribe. We are on our way to 7K, and then we do want 10K before the summer window, because that's when we come alive again. But guys, thank you. Over and out. It's been a great one.
Guys.
Like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.